This one didn't happen deep in the wilderness. It happened at a campground, a real established one, with numbered sites and a check-in booth and a gravel road running through it. I think that's part of what makes it stick with me. We tell ourselves the danger is out there, in the true backcountry, far from any road. This taught me that's not always true. My girlfriend Mara and I had driven up to a state forest campground for a long weekend. Nothing extreme, just a chance to disconnect. We arrived late afternoon, checked in at the booth, got assigned Site 14, and set up before dark. Standard stuff. A few other groups were scattered around, families mostly, someone's dog barking 2 sites over. It felt normal, safe even. Around dusk, a pickup truck rolled slowly past our site. Nothing unusual about that on its own. Trucks use the loop road all the time. People checking out sites, looking for firewood, whatever. But this one didn't have a front plate, and when it circled back 20 minutes later, still no plate, still moving at that same crawling pace, I noticed. Mara noticed too. She said, half joking,
"That guy's checking us out."
We laughed it off, made dinner, sat by the fire. But the truck came by a third time, right around full dark, and this time it slowed almost to a stop directly across from our site. The headlights stayed on us, not passing over us, staying on us, for maybe 10 full seconds before it pulled away. That's when the joke stopped being funny. We didn't say much to each other, but I noticed Mara move her chair a little closer to mine, angled so her back was toward the fire and her eyes were on the road. I quietly checked that our car keys were in my jacket pocket, not in the tent. Small, practical decisions, the kind you don't think about until you need them. Around 11, after we'd gone into the tent, I heard the truck again, engine idling somewhere close, not moving. Then it cut off. Silence, except for the engine ticking as it cooled. A car door opened, closed. Footsteps on gravel. They stopped near our site, not at the fire ring, but close to our car, parked about 15 feet from the tent. I heard a hand, metal on metal, someone testing the door handle. It was locked. Then the sound moved, slow, along the length of the car, and I understood with total clarity that someone was looking inside, checking, maybe looking for anything that would tell them whether we were alone. I did not want to confront anyone in the dark, not without knowing who or what I was dealing with. So instead, I did something simple and, in hindsight, probably the smartest thing I did that whole trip. I turned on every light I had. Headlamp, phone flashlight, the little lantern. I made the inside of that tent as bright as I could, so anyone watching would know we were awake, alert, and could see clearly. Then I called out, loud, in the most ordinary voice I could manage. "You need something? Camp host is right up the road if you're lost." There was a pause, and then quick footsteps. The truck door slamming, the engine turning over hard, tires spinning gravel as it peeled out down the loop road, far faster than any campground speed limit allowed. We didn't sleep. At first light, we packed everything in record time and drove straight to the camp host's cabin near the entrance. The host, an older woman who'd clearly heard versions of this story before, told us, gently, that they'd had a couple of odd incidents that season involving a truck matching that description. Always at night, always circling campsites with women or lone campers. She'd already called it in to the county sheriff once. Nothing had ever come of it. No plate, no clear description, nothing to charge anyone with. We reported what we'd seen and heard, gave a timestamp, a description of the engine sound, everything we could think of. Whether it ever led anywhere, I honestly don't know. What stayed with me afterward wasn't fear of the woods. It was the realization that danger doesn't always look like isolation. That campground had 30 other tents in it. There was a check-in booth. There were rules and a host and cell signal at the entrance. And none of that stopped someone from circling our site 3 times and trying our car door in the middle of the night. Since then, Mara and I still camp. A lot, actually. But we camp smarter. We pick sites near the host, not the farthest, most private ones we used to love. We tell someone our site number before we go dark for the night. And we've both agreed on one rule that sounds almost too simple to matter. If something feels wrong, you don't wait for proof. You act on the feeling immediately, loudly, and without apologizing for it. That instinct is not paranoia. More often than people want to admit, it's the only early warning you're going to get. Thank you for listening. If you like this story, please consider like, comment, and subscribe the channel.